In a world that cannot stop talking, the person who remains silent becomes the most powerful. We live in an era of noise, social media, constant notifications, the urge to justify our every move. Everyone is shouting, but nobody is listening. Most people believe that to be seen, they must be heard. They believe that volume equals authority, but they are wrong. They are playing a game they don't understand. Welcome to Unspoken Rules. Today, we dive deep into the ultimate weapon of the wise, the power of silence. Chapter 1. The Fear of the Void. Why do you speak when it's not necessary? Think about the last time you were in an elevator with a stranger. The silence felt heavy, didn't it? It felt like a pressure building up in your chest. You felt the need to comment on the weather, the floor, or the time. This is the fear of the void. Most people are terrified of silence because it forces them to face themselves. It forces them to face the truth. When you speak to fill a void, you are acting out of weakness, not strength. You are showing the world that you cannot control your own internal discomfort. A master of psychology knows this. They use your discomfort against you. While you are rambling to stop the awkwardness, they are watching. They are learning. They are winning. Chapter 2. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Robert Greene, in his famous Laws of Power, made it clear, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control you are. Even if you are saying something banal, if you make it vague and open-ended, it will seem original and profound. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you talk, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Think of the great leaders in history. They didn't explain themselves. They didn't beg for understanding. They gave an order, and they fell silent. This silence creates a vacuum that others rush to fill with their own insecurities. When you are quiet, you become a screen upon which others project their fears and desires. You become an enigma, and humans are naturally drawn to, and afraid of, what they cannot fully understand. Chapter 3. The Predator's Perspective. In the animal kingdom, the loudest animals are rarely the most dangerous. The lion doesn't roar when it's hunting. It moves in absolute silence. It watches. It waits. It calculates. Silence is the ultimate tool for observation. When your mouth is closed, your eyes and ears are finally open. You begin to see the micro-expressions on people's faces. You hear the hesitation in their voice. You notice the way they fidget when they lie. By staying silent, you are gathering intelligence. In any negotiation, the first person to speak usually loses. Why? Because they reveal their hand. They show their desperation. The person who can sit in silence for 30 seconds after a proposal is the one who holds the power. They are letting the other person's anxiety do the work for them. Chapter 4. Stoic Resilience and Emotional Control. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, knew that the tongue is a wild animal that must be caged. Silence is the physical manifestation of self-discipline. If you cannot control your words, you cannot control your life. Every time you react instantly to an insult, you have given your power away. You have told the other person, you have the key to my emotions. But imagine a different scenario. Someone insults you, hoping for a fight. Instead of shouting, you simply look at them. You say nothing. You let their words hang in the air, cold and lifeless. This silence is devastating. It shows that you are mentally untouchable. It shows that your internal peace does not depend on their external noise. This is the unspoken rule of mental toughness. Your silence is your shield. Chapter 5. The Social Magnetism of Mystery. Why are we fascinated by the mysterious? Because the human brain loves to solve puzzles. When you tell everyone everything about your life, what you ate, who you hate, what you plan to do, you kill the mystery. You become a finished book. There is no reason for anyone to pay attention to you anymore. But the person who keeps their plans secret, who speaks in short, meaningful sentences, and who doesn't reveal their next move, that person is a magnet. People want to know what you're thinking. They want to be in your inner circle. Silence builds curiosity. It builds a brand of high value. In a world of oversharers, the person with a private life is the ultimate luxury. Chapter 6. The Healing Power of the Quiet Mind. Beyond power and social dynamics, silence is essential for the soul. We are bombarded by the opinions of others. If you don't find a place of silence, you will eventually forget which thoughts are yours and which were planted there by society. Silence is where clarity is born. It is where you find the answers that noise tries to hide. Every great breakthrough in history, every masterpiece of art, every strategic victory began in a moment of absolute stillness. If you want to lead others, you must first learn to sit alone in a room and be silent. If you cannot do that, you are not a leader. You are just a part of the noise. Chapter 7. How to Practice the Art of Silence. It starts with small steps. Tomorrow, try this. In your next conversation, wait 2 seconds longer than usual before replying. Just 2 seconds. Notice how the other person reacts. Notice how it changes the dynamic. Second, stop explaining your decisions to people who don't need to know. No is a complete sentence. Your reasons are your own. Third, spend 10 minutes every day in total silence. No phone, no music, no talking. Just exist. At first, it will be uncomfortable. Your brain will scream for stimulation. But stay there. Through that discomfort, you will find a version of yourself that is stronger, calmer, and more focused. Conclusion, the final rule. It is not submissiveness. It is a concentrated form of power. It is the mark of a person who is so confident in their own reality that they don't need to prove it to anyone else. Remember, a fool speaks because he has to say something. A wise man speaks because he has something to say. And a master knows when to say nothing at all. You have been watching Unspoken Rules. If you are one of the few who made it to the end of this silence, you are already ahead of the masses. Subscribe to master the rules they never told you. Keep your secrets. Watch the world. Stay silent.